Hey y'all, it's your friend Dee, and in today's video, we're going to be making street lights for the village, or you might call them lamp posts. A few weeks ago, I was at Target and I found these miniature street lights. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put it on the screen. Looking at this lamp post, I thought the very top was the perfect size for the dolls, but the height of the entire thing was just too short. And I wasn't sure about the wiring on the inside. If I took all of that apart and tried to lengthen it, would it still work? Now, of course, in hindsight, I should have gotten them and just adjusted the wiring inside for a longer base. So today I'm just going to make my own street lights using things from the Dollar Tree. I found these balloon sticks at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. You get 4 of them, and here's the dimensions. They're 3 feet, and I'm going to see if I can use them in this project. The sticks are similar to a straw. They are hollow inside and they do have some bend to them. They are a thicker material than a normal straw, and this end is cut straight across, and the other end has a point on it so you can stick it into the ground. Each balloon comes with this little piece that looks like a steering wheel, and it slides on the blunt end of the stick, and you would insert your balloon into the top here and then wrap the end around this little hook to hold it in place. But I'm not going to use this because the bottom is not open and I need to be able to run my lights all the way through this into the stick. So I'll save this for another project. So I'm going to take one of the sticks and cut it down to 10 inches, and I think I'm going to spray paint it black. I'm also going to use some fairy lights from the Dollar Tree. I have a lot of scrap foam left in my craft room, so I'm going to use that for this project. So I have 4 pieces that I cut to 4 inches by 3 inches. And on the back side of mine, I've already peeled off the paper and I've sketched in a simple design. You can sketch brick, wood, whatever you want on the back of yours. I also have 3 pieces that are cut to 3 by 2 and 3/4 inches, 3 pieces that are 3 by 2.5 inches, and some extra strips that I'm not sure if I'll need yet, but I'll have them on hand. I'm not going to give the measurements for these because I'm not sure if I'll need them. I have a leftover piece of paperboard from another project, and this is 8 inches long and half an inch wide. And I don't think I'll need the entire thing. Well, I know I won't need the entire thing, so I'll just need a portion of this. And I'm going to use one of these jars from the Dollar Tree. I believe these come in a 6-pack for $1.25. And there's also a larger size that is a 4-pack for $1.25. I don't need the top of it, so I'm going to take this off and set it aside. And I just need the glass part. So I spray painted my stick black, and I don't think the spray paint is going to stay on. It's kind of scratching off. And I used the plastic straight spray paint, but for now I'm going to set this aside. I might have to repaint it later. I'm going to start by gluing 2 of the 4 by 3 inch pieces together, and I want to make sure that my design is facing outward. So I'm going to glue them together like this. I have my 2 sides glued together, and before I put on any of the other side walls, I'm going to take one of these 3 by 2.5 inch pieces and put it in the corner here. And I'm going to glue that to be the base of the stand. Before I go any further, I want to make sure the battery pack fits in this space. So my battery pack fits fine against this wall, and it is flush like I wanted it. So here on the side, it's right up against the side there. And now I need to encase my battery pack in something to keep it from moving. So I'm going to take one of those extra pieces that I wasn't sure I needed and put it at the top here. I might have to trim it just a little bit on the sides, but I'll eyeball that, and I'm going to glue it just slightly above the battery pack. I glued that in place, and now I made an adjustment to the side piece here. Earlier it was 3 by 2 3/4. I made it 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. So I'm going to glue this here. So I have this side wall glued in, and I made a little bit of a mess, but it won't be seen, so that's just fine. And the battery pack can slide in and out. So now I'm going to put in one more of these pieces right beside it. So it's going to go right here. So I have that glued into place, and my top is going to sit right on these 2 pieces. So I need those other 3 by 2.5 inch pieces. On the back of these two pieces, I drew a line from corner to corner so I could figure out the middle. And I'm going to poke a hole through these so I can run my lights through. So this piece, I just used my pencil to poke a hole in it. And this other piece, I need a hole big enough for my stick to sit down in it. And I'm just going to use the base of the stick to put an indent into it. Well, maybe I can push it all the way through. No, I have the piece that I cut off the bottom. Maybe that'll help. It has that pointed end on it. So let's see if that works and try not to stick myself. So yeah, that's going through no problem. So I made the hole for my stick and it's going to sit on top of the piece with the smaller hole. And that's going to keep the stick from sliding all the way through. Before I glue on the top, I wanted to make sure that my fairy lights would fit through the opening at the bottom. And I wanted to make sure the pole would fit in the opening on top. So I ran those all the way through and I want to get a sense of how much of the fairy lights I actually want going through the pole. So I have my battery in and I can see that. So there's one light. I'm going to pull another one out and I'll leave two out at the bottom. And that'll give me enough room to pull my battery pack out with ease. So I don't want to leave this wire too short because it'll make it too difficult to pull the battery pack out if I do that. So I have two lights here that are showing through the pole and I didn't do a second coat of spray paint. So I'm going to have to cover those up. So yeah, I just have those two. Let's see, yeah, two here and then two in the bottom. So a total of four that needs to be covered. And to cover those lights, I'm just going to wrap some black electrical tape around them. So I've glued on the top and I've also covered my lights in the black electrical tape for wires. And you can't really see anything peeking through. So I have these two here at the bottom and they're going to be inside there. And I have two at the very top that are going to be inside the pole. So I'm going to put my battery pack back in and tuck my wires inside the opening here. And I'm going to put my other walls on. So I have my other walls on and I just cut a opening in the back for the battery pack. So it pulls in and out, no problem. And the wires are just tucked up in that opening. And that worked out. And at the top here, I'm going to attach my pole. So I've glued my sticker pole in place and ran the lights through. And I realized when I got to the top, I was going to have to put something here for the glass jar to sit on. So I took a piece of foam board, cut it a little bit bigger than the opening of the jar, put a hole in the middle so I could run the lights through. And now all I have to do is sit my jar on top of that and glue it in place. To make this part look a little bit neater, I'm going to take some of that leftover paperboard and just wrap it around. My lamppost is all put together and now I just have to paint it. While my paint is drying, I'm going to show you another option. The Dollar Tree has battery operated tapered candles for $1.25. These are 10.5 inches tall. They also have this 2-pack and these are 5 inches tall and you get a stand for each candle. And they have these little planters with faux foliage. And I wish this was the bigger one, but my store was out. I painted my candle black. Now I'm going to take the plant out of the pot. Now just stick the candle in the pot. And the foam in the bottom of the pot will help keep the candle in place. Then I just glue on one of my jars. Here's the finished product. And this is just a basic lamp post and you can customize it. And a taller base would make this look nicer to me because it is kind of short. Here's Tanja beside it. And as you can see, they are about the same height. So if you can find the larger bases at the Dollar Tree, that would probably work out better. Here are the finished street lights or lamp posts, and I love the way they came out. And I did not put any foliage or flowers in this yet, so this is a flower bed. I'm waiting for the glue to dry. And if you look closely, I filled it with black gravel, and I got the gravel from the Dollar Tree. And I also put in little holes. You probably can't tell there, but I can stick the flowers down in there and change them out for the seasons. And each lamppost is 15 inches tall. If you're wondering about these lights that the dolls are putting up on the lamppost, they are from the Dollar Tree. They are battery operated Christmas lights and they come in two different shapes, and each box is $1.25. Here are what they look like without the lights on in my room, and they do give off a fair amount of light. So, my friends, that's all I have for you today. If you have questions about anything in this video, please leave it in the comments below. I will try my best to answer your questions. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I'll see you next time, my friends. Bye bye.